Hello, SoImJai, and as you know, I love building props from original ideas, from movies, games, anime, and just everything. So come along with me as we build cool shit, cheap shit, and shit. Because not everything goes according to plan. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Prop It. Welcome back to the second episode of Prop It. I am sorry that I haven't done anything for a while. Life got into the road, and as you can see, I'm actually on vacation at the moment on my honeymoon. Ash is having a shower, which is why I'm filming. I brought some stuff up to do it, but today we are doing Ren's hero sword from Rising of a Shield Hero. Let's get into it. So as always, print and assemble the template. They are free in the link down below. Trace and cut your first pieces out. I'm using 10mm foam here, and I have 2 blade pieces and 3 guard pieces cut out. Now, using whatever you wish as the core, I'm using roughly an inch wide PVC pipe. I'm marking where the pipe will fit through the middle guard piece and cut that out. I've marked where I wish the handle length and the overall support length. I cut it to size and I've flattened the top using my heat gun safely and some wood to squish it flat. Did this to make the blade as thin as possible. Doing this did lose some of the rigidness, so maybe if you added an extra thin little piece within the flattened area to stiffen it up more, like, I don't know, unbend a coat hanger or some wire or something. I have cut out the inner gem circle on the guard pieces and sanded the rough texture off so I can glue them. On the third piece, flip it so the sanded texture is on the inside. Also, you can see I went and bought the manga. I'm having fun reading it. Now I've glued the guard up using whatever glue you desire. I just used contact adhesive, it was just a cheap $2 tube, and have used my Dremel to sand it down flush with a sanding bit to move on to the detail pieces. Onto the detail. We cut the detail pieces out of the template. I traced and cut out on the foam. Here for the blue part you can see I used 5mm foam and the white is 2mm thick foam. Glued them on either side. I use super glue here for smaller parts because it's just easy. Also, please score the detail lines for the gold circle part before gluing on the white circle, as it will be much easier than I did. Then using my Dremel, I finished it off a little more and rounded the edges with a sanding drum so it looked better to me. Now onto the blade. I traced where the PVC would be and have cut a small trench into it and finished it off with my Dremel so the PVC will fit in there nicely. Using hot glue, I glued one side in, then the other side in, while also using contact glue for the foam part. Now the blade, I traced where the blade would be and using my sharp-ish box cutter, I cut from the line that I marked to the middle of the foam pieces on both sides. Then I used the Dremel to sand it down nice and flush to the way I liked it. More detail time. As you can see, I traced where the blade details go, cut them out of the template, and I cut them out of 5mm foam with a slight bevel and glued them down using a super glue. Now, I will show you what I did here, but what I did was garbage in my opinion. I basically skinned it and cut the excess off. But what I do suggest is that you just cut the blade part out of the template and add 5mm to a centimeter on the outside part to account for the bevel. Glue them in, cut off the edges and just sand them flush. Finishing off the sanding on the guard with the sanding drum on the Dremel, then a stone bit, then some wet sanding. I heat sealed it to open up the scored detail parts and it fits on okay. Still needed to cut some of the excess foam on the inside and use the Dremel to make it fit as flush as it could. For the pommel piece, I just used the end of the broken lava lamp, ducked it up, took a pattern, cut it from 6mm foam. I do suggest thinner foam as I had to bevel it to fit around the PVC pipe, and super glue. Now the gems on the guard, this is kind of harder. I made this little diamond pattern, which is included. Use tape to tape the whole thing up and make it like a little pyramid thingy. Then filled it with hot glue. Please don't just hold it like the idiot I am, as hot glue bloody burns the shit out of you. And yeah, did that twice, and there you go. Also, I sealed the whole blade and guard in 3 to 4 coats of Mod Podge with sanding with a high grit in between. Now the pommel has either a raised or an enough
detailed part to it, do what you wish. I chose to do the raised part. I cut 5mm strips out of 2mm foam and super glued them on, covering the seam that I did in the original bit. I cut the bite to hold a 9-volt battery or twin AA battery pack and glued the pommel in place. The raised parts on the pommel, I used the offcuts from the blade beveling session and glued them on, one on top, one on bottom, rounded them off, coated it all up with Mod Podge. Base coat black spray paint. Onto the actual paint job, basically the same as the shield. Go watch that if you haven't, up in the corner. Used ping pong balls as the gem. Be careful cutting them in half as they are pretty durable. Painted them blue as well as the hot glue gems. Fixed up the black parts, coated it in a couple coats of clear.
And here we go with the sword. The lights are still not in yet because I haven't been able to do it. The bottom is actually just super glued onto the ball until I can figure out the lights. But as mentioned, please go down to the description and get those templates, free templates. Make sure you show me what you are doing. Go to @SoImJai on Instagram and Twitter and just tag me in your stories, your posts, your everything. But when it comes down to cool shit, I would give this 5/6 out of 5. This is actually really cool. I actually like how I did it. Cheap shit, again, we'll go 4 out of 5 shits. Yeah, it's relatively cheap. Unlike the shell, there's 3 different sizes of foam on this. The PVC pipe, if you do the flattening like I did, this pipe was, I think it was $2. It's kind of maybe an inch. Yeah, roughly 2.5 centimeters thing. I know the inner to the outer diameter is all different, but yeah, roughly that. The ping pong balls was a set of 6, I think. That was probably the most expensive at like $4. I probably used, all up maybe $10 worth of foam. And then the lights, I will use the cheap lights that I got, and they'll probably be about $2. The hot glue, the paint, the only spray paint I used was the black. So all of this probably cost under $20. Probably a little bit more expensive than the shield, but it still looks super dope. Tell me down below what you would like to see next. I've done the sword, I've done the shield, the bow and the spear will be coming, as well as Raftalia's sword, which was highly requested. Making it for a friend. If you'd like to see anything else from any other anime, any other movie, any other things, I have a couple other anime ones that I've built that I've got to do a video on. But yeah, just tell me down below. Till next time, have fun, stay awesome, get building, show me your stuff on Instagram and Twitter @SoImJai, and I will see you next time. Bye.